This is One-on-One with Mason Votes, and we're sitting down today with Chair of the GMU College Republicans, Kristie Colorado. Kristie, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
You can't turn on a TV or watch a video on YouTube without being bombarded with ads, so we all know a presidential election is going on. That being said, tell us what the college Republicans here at Mason are doing in preparation for this year's election.
The College Republicans at Mason are partnering with the College Republican Federation of Virginia and the College Republican National Committee. And we're just doing typical political stuff like canvassing neighborhoods, making phone calls, registering people to vote, getting people absentee ballots, just the typical campaign stuff going on.
Okay. Have you heard from students while you're canvassing and doing these phone banks and registering people to vote? What are they concerned about? What are the issues that they're looking at most in this election?
The three main issues that students are looking at are the economy and jobs when they graduate college. Healthcare is another big one too. And just like issues surrounding that, like education, student loans, stuff on those lines.
And what are you hearing from them? Are they more leaning towards Mitt Romney or President Obama in terms? I know education is something that we hear a lot about, the cost of education especially rising, and Mason, obviously, our tuition has gone up year after year for out-of-state students and a little bit for in-state students. So are you hearing anything like while you're out there talking to students, which way are they leaning on the issue of education?
On the issue of education, it's kind of split. People are like leaning towards Mitt Romney on certain things and Obama on certain things. I know he just said something in the Virginia Beach rally, and Obama was like, I don't want you to have to spend more on school just so I could pay less taxes. And so students are definitely seeing what people are hearing.
So obviously the GMU College Republicans, I may be assuming here, support Mitt Romney, but is it just because he is the party's nominee, or is there genuine support for him?
I could say there's genuine support. We still have a few outliers that are Ron Paul people, Gary Johnson people, but that's all because the Republican Party has kind of split into different divisions, the Tea Party, Libertarians, all that stuff. But most of them are supporting Mitt Romney.
And do you think that, we were talking earlier before we came on about just Virginia in general, the polls are showing Mitt Romney down about 4 to 5 points. Do you see a possibility for a comeback for him? Is there enthusiasm enough out there for Mitt Romney so that he can put Virginia back in the Republicans' column?
I think there is a lot of enthusiasm, especially coming from Northern Virginia. I've been driving around. Definitely a blue area, but I've seen a lot of Mitt Romney signs, so I think it's going to be pretty good in this area. Another big area a lot of people look at in Virginia is where I'm from, the Hampton Roads area, very strong Republican area, and every campaign says if you could carry Nova and you could carry Hampton Roads, you've got the rest of Virginia.
With there being a polling place on campus in University Hall, are the GMU Republicans promoting that, letting students know, hey, if you live on campus, you can go out and you can vote on campus if you register to vote using your George Mason address? Are you guys pushing for a huge turnout among students?
Yeah, we're actually pushing for a huge turnout. A lot of students are out of state. Surprisingly, a lot of them have come up to us and they're like, I want to change my voter registration to University Hall. And we've gotten help from the College Republican National Committee. They have a representative that comes over and registers people to vote. And we've been really emphasizing that you do not have to go out and drive 40 minutes out to wherever you're voting. You could just go to University Hall in between classes. It's convenient. And you could have a say in your local politicians as well.
Yeah, I think it's also important to note too that Mason student IDs do work and will be allowed at the polling place, because in Virginia, as you know, you are required to show some sort of identification, whether it be a government issued license or a bill, with your address on it, just showing your residency and status as a resident of Virginia. Final question, I guess. In terms of it's hard to say. In terms of enthusiasm amongst students, on George Mason's campus, just for the election in general, how would you gauge it? Are they more apathetic, or are they kind of not engaged? Are they riled up for this election to support either Mitt Romney, Gary Johnson, or President Obama?
I think people are more enthusiastic now that politics has become more mainstream. In 2008, when I worked on my first campaign, I was in high school, so I didn't really see what college students were like. But amongst our age group, there's a very high apathy level. And seeing how it is now, I've seen a lot of people out there wearing Obama shirts and Mitt Romney shirts and pins on backpacks. And I feel like the college Democrats, college Republicans, libertarians are all doing a really great job saying that you have a say in this election and that this is your chance. And some people in my grade, I'm a senior at Mason, will be voting for the first time in a major election. Yeah. And so I think people are getting excited about that.
Well, Kristie, thank you for being here with us. Again, this is One-on-One with Mason Votes. I'm Shane Smith, reminding you to be aware, get educated, and vote.